Hello, this is the Laura Basul with World in 2 Minutes, bringing the latest developments around the world. Our first story is from Bosnia. The court said Bosnia's state court has ordered 1 month detention for 5 extremists charged with organizing and recruiting people to fight for radical groups in Syria and Iraq. The 5 among 16 people who were detained last week in police raids across Bosnia on charges of financing terrorist activities and recruiting and fighting abroad. The first such security sweep since jail terms of up to 10 years were introduced in April for those activities. It is allegedly said that Scotland would need to reapply membership to both the EU and NATO if the country chooses to become independent in the referendum in days to come. The EU officials, European Commission spokeswoman Pia Andrekindel Hansen, for instance, refused to give any new remark on the issue, as she stated that the EU is respectful about the future of Scotland, on which British and Scots would decide whether they live together or separate. In an answer given to the question whether Scotland needs to reapply to the NATO, an alliance officer responded that no discussions had been held on the issue and no decisions have been taken. A Western diplomat said Israel has provided satellite imagery and other intelligence in support of the US-led aerial campaign against ISIS in Iraq. Once scrubbed of its evidence of its Israeli origin, the information has often been shared by Washington with Arab and Turkish allies, the diplomat said. Israel's defense ministry neither confirmed nor denied involvement in any international efforts against the militant group. The EU leadership does not want to rush into new sanctions on Russia amidst the newly introduced ceasefire between the pro-Russian separatists and Ukrainian forces has been putting into practice. Instead, the union governments regarding the punitive measures over Russia will come into force in the next few days, depending on how well the ceasefire agreement in eastern Ukraine will be upheld. European Council President Herman Van Rompuy verified their position in a statement delaying the sanctions would leave time for an assessment of the implementation of the ceasefire agreement and the peace plan in eastern Ukraine. With this story, we have come to the end of this hour's top stories. You can always find more at trtworld.com. Until we meet again in 2 hours, stay tuned. Goodbye.